Happy New Year, everybody. It is 2024. Well, I'm recording this actually on the 10th of January, 2024. So it has been a few days into the new year. Sasha and I are having a break from recording for a couple of weeks, but then we will be back with season 5. In the meantime, we thought you would enjoy this rewind classic, episode 80, the one about having a mental reset. Hopefully you've had a break. And if you haven't had a break, then it is still not too late to shape the year that you want and get yourself prepared. And this is a great episode to kick you off with that. So we will be back before you know it. But in the meantime, enjoy this classic episode. Hey there, you're listening to the Not So Breakfast Show with Sasha and Ish. Alright, welcome to the Not So Breakfast Show today, and this is the one about having a mental reset, reboot, whatever you want to call it, but restarting and recovering and getting back on track. Plus, have you ever been so angry doing the vacuuming you've wanted to do this?
You know, we've got that beautiful wedding picture in our hallway, the one that you're in the front of with your eyes closed.
Yes.
That one.
Yeah.
I nearly just picked up the vacuum cleaner pipe and smashed it through your closed eye holes and everyone else's eye holes as well.
Plus, if you had a podcast, what type of person would you be?
Ish and I were talking the other day about how there's basically two types of people. There's the type of people who make a podcast and never listen to themselves. And then there's me and him. And we self-soothe by listening to ourselves.
Anyway, this is also the one that's ending season 2 because we're going to be coming back in a few weeks with season 3. But for now, that's the show. Let's get it. Alright, welcome to the Not So Breakfast Show today. And this is the one about a mental reboot. How do we just restart again? This is what you used to do in the 80s, right? If it didn't work, you just turn it off, reboot it. Is that what we did? Do you still do that?
Turn it off, turn it on again? We still do that now, right? We still do that now.
Surely IT's got more clever than just turn it off, turn it on again.
Our IT team won't talk to us if we haven't already rebooted it. Whatever it is.
Yeah. I used to have a Commodore 64, but it had a cassette tape that loaded the games, and it took like 20 minutes to load a game. And I just remember how frustrating it was when it got to the end and then it failed, and then you'd have to do it again. But at least you went and played outside. You know, I get frustrated now when my window on Google's won't open properly. Google's.
I love that we're having this reboot conversation, how to stay mentally refreshed and give yourself a kind of a shot in the arm. And it's the last episode of the season. Dum, dum, dum. Because we are actually stopping. And one of the best things you can do to have a mental reboot is just to stop.
Preach. But we are coming back, though. We're just going to stop and have a short hiatus.
Oh, I love what you did there. Hiatus, that's awesome.
And then come back with season 3. But it is one of those things. Sometimes it is just better to just stop for a while, recharge, get a different perspective, and then maybe come back with some fresh thoughts and some fresh ideas. Because when you're on the hamster wheel, it is sometimes really hard to come up with new ideas and new concepts.
And even when you're in the middle of something. So today, for a whole lot of reasons that I won't go into because they're boring, I was doing the vacuuming in my house. Now, you may well have rightly perceived that I'm not a woman who often vacuums. I have other people who vacuum for me, not just my children, but I'm on vacuuming at the moment, and the vacuum cleaner broke.
Oh.
So the pipe and the nozzle head that does all the suctioning are disconnected, and there's like a screw that you've got to put in through 5 different holes to make it work. So I repaired it and felt instantly like clever home handyman. Did some more vacuuming, it broke again. I repaired it. That was good. The third time it broke, well, I broke. I broke with the vacuum cleaner, and I very nearly, you know, we've got that beautiful wedding picture in our hallway, the one that you're in the front of with your eyes closed.
Yes.
That one.
Yeah.
I nearly just picked up the vacuum cleaner pipe and smashed it through your closed eye holes and everyone else's eye holes as well. And I recognised, I'm self-aware enough to recognise that now was not the time to fix that for the third time. Now is the time to walk away.
That is it.
And that I could come back to it refreshed, right? Sometimes quitting, giving up is absolutely what you need to do to get that mental recharge and refresh. I'd fixed it twice. Third time, nah, have a rest.
It's good that you did that, because I've been in the situation where I'm just going to get it done. I'm going to do it. And you just get more frustrated, and then either an accident happens or something happens, or it takes you 8 times longer than it would have, as if you just stopped, gone away and come back to it. So
yeah, and Joe comes home and says, honey, where's our wedding photo? And you say, wow.
Hey, but you're taking a little break as well, because you're heading off to the big US of A.
Yeah, so I'm going back to my last 3 weeks, my final stint at business school, which I'm very excited about, but also it's kind of a bittersweet feeling, because something that has been so important and powerful and transformative, educational, inspiring, challenging, it's been phenomenal, and it's going to be over.
Yeah.
And I know last time it's a 3-week program, and last time I was about 10 days in, and I already started to get sad about it finishing. And this time I'm already sad about it finishing before it starts. And there's this real, I love that Buddhist concept of just be here now, like be in it, stay present to the joy. Because there's a real risk that I'll get so far ahead of myself that I just won't stop to enjoy it because I'll be so sad about being over. You'll remember that scene from Swingers. Is the movie called Swingers?
I'm not sure I remember a movie called Swingers.
Oh, this isn't going to be a very good anecdote. But it's a really famous actor who I can see very clearly, but I can't remember
If you could describe it to me, this could be a game.
So, well, he also starred as a chef in a movie, and he made the very best toasted sandwich that was known to mankind. Okay. He's a really famous actor. Anyway, that guy, he rang a woman, remember, on her answer phone? And he explained how he couldn't go out with her because he was still recovering from another relationship. And then her answer phone rang out of tape. It was like in that era, so he just kept ringing it back. And over the course of ringing her several times, he'd walked through their entire relationship. So before they'd even had one date, he said, well, it's not going to work out and it's going to hurt my feelings again, so it's best that we just don't have one date. Terribly told story, and we're going to find out what it is. I'm going to Google it right now. The point being that he was so anticipating that there was heartbreak ahead of him that he didn't even engage with the thing in the first place. And I think that's a sign that we're mentally exhausted as well.
Yeah.
That we need a bit of a break, don't you reckon? When you just go, I haven't got the spoons for this.
Oh, definitely. And I think given the time that we're in right now, everybody's battery is just not quite recharging to the same level. And I think we've touched on this in the past when we, if you had those rechargeable batteries and you recharge them over and over again.
His name is Jon Favreau. Do you know him?
Jon Favreau. I'll hold up a photo and then I can go back to the battery thing. Let's have a look. I want to see. Oh, yeah, I know that guy. He's from, what's he from? Oh, he's Happy from Iron Man. He's, yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay, so he's that. But he's also, we're just going to find out.
Yeah, let's do some more on him. You can see why this was the last episode of season 2, Sash.
I just ran out of stuff to talk about. It's called Swingers. The movie is called Swingers. 1996.
You had it right the whole time.
Oh my God, made me doubt myself just because you're like the movie buff and I know nothing.
All right, Swingers. Okay, good. You know what? Now that you've shown me that, I think I have seen that movie.
I'm sure you have.
Anyway, back to the battery thing. If you recharge a battery a number of times, obviously it does get to the point where it doesn't quite recharge as much as it used to. And suddenly when you put on recharge, you go to use it and it just doesn't last as long. And that kind of feels a little bit like energy at the moment. And one of the things I think we need to be really aware of is the things that used to recharge us completely are not recharging us completely. They're just recharging us enough to get into the new thing. So you may need to give up more things or change perspective on more things to actually get the performance that you are used to doing.
Yeah, and we're talking about this reboot thing, right? This idea that you come back refreshed and recharged. So what have you got? What are your top 3 things that you do for that reboot to give yourself the kick?
So one of them is I want to look at the inputs that are going on. So I know, and we've talked about this again before, but if I watch too many violent things, too many things that play in my mind, it affects my sleep and then that sort of starts to play out. I can handle it for a little while, but there are points where I just need to go, I need a detox. I need to move away from Yellow Jackets.
Yes. Yes,
and
you do.
I need to be watching something that is light, that I feel good, like Taskmaster.
That is
for
uplifting.
example.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't mean I have to stop watching TV. I enjoy watching TV. I think everyone who listens to this podcast knows that you and I, we love our TV. But I need a break. I need to change the style. And that could be part of a mental reboot. 10 days, detox. I'm not going to watch the news. I'm not going to swipe to the left on my phone and see what's going on in the stuff articles every day. I'm not going to watch violent stuff. I'm going to reboot, reset for 10 days, and then I can get back into it.
I love that so much. Think about all the areas in your life that you can take a detox from. If you are addicted to playing Wordle like I am, realize that it owns you rather you owning it if you can't take a break from it. So I've just made my 100 games in a row streak, which is pretty cool. But I said to the family, I want to stop now. I want to stop to prove to myself that it doesn't have a hold on me, that it's my choice to keep playing it. Otherwise, it becomes another thing that you worry about in your day. Will I lose my Wordle streak? Just so you know, I'm not that mature yet. I've played again today and I'm at 101. I'm thinking maybe 111 is the time to tap out. But even in recognizing that, I realize that it has a hold on me. And anything that has a hold on you can deplete your energy. Anything that you feel that you can't put to one side is actually the thing you should put to one side for a period of time to get re-energized. And I know, like you, I get sucked into these what feel like really intense political battles on Facebook and Twitter, and I feel like I've got to fight the good fight, and if I don't tell people that oat milk's the best milk and dairying is bad, or that, you know, that's a racist thing to say, I'm all for the calling out, but I'm also conscious that it can be exhausting, and it's a privilege I have to be able to walk away and reboot, but I need to do it to be able to come back stronger.
What is with the Wordle thing? People keep posting their little their lines, because I don't play Wordle, right? I guess you don't know what the word is. You put in, it tells you if you've got a letter or something. Like Mastermind used to be that game, Mastermind, right?
Like Battleships.
Like Battleships. Okay, that's cool. Because I was going to post, was the word, and I just put Z, 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 and then send it to them. But then I was like, no, I'm not going to burst their bubble. This has obviously made their day.
100%, right? If things are bringing other people joy, that's another sign, I think, that you are in need, not you personally, you, the world, is in need of a break, is whenever you find yourself getting snippy at other people's joy. You go, why do I feel this urge to piss on their parade? And recognize that it's an ugliness and a depletion in you, and let people have their fun, whatever that looks like to them. That whole live and let live, right? So recognizing that that's something that you need to do, one of the reboot things that I do to recharge is sort of an extension of this idea of having a gratitude routine or ritual, is actually actively seek to be positive in your interactions, whether that's on social media, in your emails, or in your everyday life. So I regularly am commenting to strangers in different circumstances, and they're not really strangers, they're people I know. You look amazing in that wedding dress. And who knows if your comment might just be the one that gives somebody a real lift. And by bringing that positivity in the world, I actually elevate my own levels of charge and energy and positivity. If we want to raise our positivity in the present, we should be more positive.
Oh, so good, Sash. And, you know, that could be on social media, but also just sending someone a text message that they did a good job and you noticed it, or that you were thinking about them. Just that slight pause and timing and go, you know what, I'm just going to speak into this person's life and say something positive. It's such a cool feeling as well to be able to do that, and not doing it in a way that, okay, I've done you now you do me. Like, just literally, here's a compliment and I really, really mean it.
And part of the reciprocal of that is being for recharging is being open to people saying nice things about you. We went out for dinner on Saturday night. It was Chris's birthday. And a friend of mine said, "Oh, I love your hair." And my instinct is to just laugh because it's so long, it's so grey, and tomorrow I'm getting that sorted out. And so I was about to tell this person how wrong they were about my hair because my hair's long and it's grey. And I thought, wow, what a horrible way to be, to take some goodness that someone's put into the world to encourage you and just to throw it back at them. So instead I just said thank you. And I felt better because of it. And so, again, a recognition of when you're pushing stuff away, stay open.
Yeah.
Open yourself to the possibility that people may well be enjoying.
Yeah. So maybe the positive reboot or our mental reboot is about focusing not on ourselves and focusing on other people. And let's just do that for 10 days and then get back to us. But pick a time. Because I think, when you do that, it does suddenly start to shift things. I think part of that mental wellness reboot is also commit to an exercise routine. If you've never been the type of person that likes exercise, just do 10 days. Just do 5 days and just see what happens. Like my routine at the moment, I just can't exercise the way that I want to or the way that I used to because of this hip replacement.
I was going to say because you're old.
Because I'm old and I'm falling apart and I'm just slowly getting parts of me replaced. But I'm just loving going for a walk. Getting up in the morning, like I got up in the morning this morning at 6:30 and went for a walk and it rained and I loved it when I got back. Like I wasn't particularly like walking in the rain, but when I got back I was like an hour later, 5Ks, soaking wet, glad I did it. And there's something about just listening to a podcast and just walking and just being completely disconnected from my email. It's great. I'm really enjoying that as a routine.
That is very cool. I'm setting myself challenges because I'm getting ready to go overseas and I want to keep moving. I'm like, how do I incorporate moving into my day? I'm going to tell you I don't have time and you're going to tell me it's a choice. And I'm going to say, yes, I am choosing right now to pack my bags and to have my hair appointments. And so time is harder to find. And I don't want to get up at 4 a.m. to make it all fit because I'll get too tired before I go, right? So how do I incorporate moving in? So I'm just having some fun with myself. And literally at the moment, if I'm home alone, which is most of the day, I'm not allowed to walk in the house. So I just run everywhere. So our hallway is long and narrow and I just run down it as fast as I can. I must look ridiculous. But I've been inspired. Have you seen, there's been like World Athletics on at the moment and there's a woman who's like 101 and she's just set a new world record for 100 metres. It was about, 13 minutes or something. It wasn't, but it was something like that. It was quite a long time she took. But the trick I reckon for her is she will have kept moving all her life. And I know that one day I won't be able to run as fast as you can is going to look different. So for now, while I can, up and down my hallway, man, and it makes me laugh. It makes me puff because I'm just sprinting back and forward. But it's like a silly but reminding way that I'm in control of how often I move. So we don't have to be stuck and I don't have time. Like, bang it in wherever you can.
We'll be right back.
If there was one skill that could double your income, advance your career, and increase your ability to influence, it is the skill of presenting. Whether it's on stage, in the boardroom, or at a job interview, the 30-Minute Presenter program will help take you to the next level. So check out our Instagram page, click the link in the bio, and get started on the 30-Minute Presenter program. I would love you to do that, but be playing the Rocky theme at the same time. Set a timer that whenever it goes off, it's doon, 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 doon. Or the Benny Hill theme for our British listeners. Thank you.
Chris, are you still with us? Because I'm not sure that a reference to a very straight, white, jiggle your tits British comedian is what you're looking for. But if you are, Chris, welcome. Thanks for staying.
Oh, that was a good chat, Sash. I don't think we have to have a long chat about that because I want to talk about the previous season that we've been through. But I think mental reboot is a good thing to do if you're feeling a bit frizzled, if you're not recharging, or you just kind of go, you know what, I have been a bit pissy on other people's parade. why don't you take 5 days, 10 days, whatever it is, and just change your focus, change your mindset, change your inputs.
Oh, can I make one more suggestion?
Mm-hmm.
Just write a letter to yourself.
Ooh.
Dear Sash, it's not going to be like this forever, I promise. Here are the things that you love doing. Here are the things you can look forward to. Here are the things I love about the way you are persevering through a tough time. This is what's on the other side for you. Write a letter to yourself that will encourage you. And I know you do this, Ish. I know you write little notes to yourself, which is awesome, which is amazing. It's good.
And then you put them around the house, and then you just find them one day and go, oh.
And then when you're running to the Rocky music, you find them.
All right, so we are at episode 80. Season 1 was 45 episodes, so this one's been 35, if my maths is correct there.
I think you've done a good job there.
Yeah, awesome. So, and then we're kind of thinking that probably future seasons will be around 40 episodes.
Maybe just 10 less each time. So we go 45, 35, 25, 15, 5, none.
And then it's like season 11, 1, season 12, 1.
I love it.
But we've had some great episodes, I think, over this last season, but some good interviews as well. Had a chat to Tracy Minnick, which was great. We had a chat to Matt Thraxton.
I reckon on that Tracy Minnick front, if you guys haven't already, check out her podcast, Sexy Aging. It is phenomenal. I don't know if you've noticed, but my voice has got much sexier since I've been listening to her. And I know that's not her goal. She's doing some amazing work for women who are perimenopausal and going through menopause. Love it. Get on it. Sexy Aging.
Yeah.
Matt Thraxton's still stuck in China.
Still in lockdown. If that puts it in perspective for those of you that know that we talked to Matt, and that was, in fact, what episode was that one? That was
the one about Matt Thraxton.
That was the one about Matt Thraxton, which was episode 73. So we're now at episode 80. So we do an episode a week. Flipping heck, he's been in lockdown for ages.
And not just like a little pretend lockdown.
No.
An actual guards at the door lockdown.
Yeah, in his apartment in China. Damn. Yeah.
We're sending you love, Maddie.
Yeah, Maddie. Absolutely. Then we had a chat to Mid Thomas as well, which was great interview.
She's doing amazing stuff.
Yeah, she is. And we got to talk to Chris Waugh as well and reconnect with him after 20 years. Well, you see him more often, but 20 years for me.
Lots to think about in that interview, wasn't there? The challenge about how we look at education, the importance of role models for our kids who aren't ourselves, and just the power that people have to diminish each other versus raise each other up. It's really stayed with me, that one.
Yeah, and his podcast as well, Is This for Credits, is an excellent listen. In fact, I have binged it all. So, Chris, if you are still with us and I didn't put you off with the Benny Hill reference, keep producing that podcast because it's inspiring me.
Chris will know that you're listening to him because you're pulling out words like hiatus.
Oh, brilliant, yes. Well, that was one of the things. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm just learning so many new words.
When I was growing up, hiatus was like a cattle disease or sheep disease, and we used to drench the animals for hiatus. And I have always thought that hiatus and hiatus were like, I used to use them the wrong way around when I was a kid. So you're ahead of me, Ash.
Brilliant. Then we went through the 15 coaching questions. And if you haven't listened to that one, that particular episode has had a lot of downloads. So I don't know why it just seemed to hit a nerve with some people, but it was practical questions. And if you do want those questions, you can DM me, and I should put them in the show notes, but I just haven't done it yet. But DM me, I'll send you what the questions were. But yeah, how to have better coaching conversations.
Have a notepad while you're driving to work and just write the questions down.
That sounds safe.
Better crashing, everybody.
Well, that's what you use Siri for. Hey, Siri.
Hey, Siri.
Oh, damn it. She's gone off. One of my particular favourite ones was the one about what's controlling your focus and looking at what you focus on is what you head towards.
What you focus on gets fixed.
So, even though we're not going to be around for 3 or 4 weeks, doesn't mean you can't go back through into the archives of 80 episodes and pull out some bangers, pull out some gems.
Go back, have a listen, learn yourself some stuff. I mean, Ash and I were talking the other day about how there's basically 2 types of people. I'm sure there's more, but let's just go, there's 2. There's the type of people who make a podcast and never listen to themselves. And then there's me and him. And we self-soothe by listening to ourselves. So when Ash says that the coaching questions had lots of downloads, it's probably just us.
Me and Sash listening to it over and over. And it's fun because I edit it. So I listen to it slowly and then I send it to you. And then usually on my walk the next day, I'm listening to it again. It's good.
You,
good.
Me, and my mum. Shout out to Mum. Hey, Jill.
Oh, and Joe. Joe's a huge fan.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank
and
you,
we can
Joe,
talk shit about Chris because he ain't ever going to listen. So I would like to wrap up with a concluding message for the end of this season. And we're recording this on the 16th of May, 2022. Mm-hmm. There's a lot going on in the world. There's some news coming out of the Supreme Court in the United States. There is the Russian invasion of the Ukraine. There are election battles in the UK and in Australia. In New Zealand, we're having COVID deaths, and that's something we haven't experienced before. Everywhere around the world, there's a cost of living crisis, and so many people are going, what's my life about? There's this whole great resignation thing, and I feel like we're in a time of there's a bit of angst going on out there. And as me and Ish go into this break time, we're taking a break so we can reboot and recharge. And I want to encourage you all that we're going to get through this. We are going to get through this time in our history, and I promise that the best is yet to come. But it requires us to take action around us, to be that little bit kinder, to take care of each other, to look out for ourselves, to focus on the things and the people that are most important to us and not get distracted by the noise of what's trying to get us away from what actually matters most. And any time that you can spend while we're away, and we are going to miss you, and we're going to miss each other during this time, any time that you can spend thinking about what matters to me and how can I live my best life, and what does my best life look like? How can I show up for my kids? How do I show up for my workmates? How do I show up for the customers that I'm choosing to serve in my business? But most importantly, my challenge to you is, if you're still there listening to me preach, is how do you show up for yourself? How can you be the person that you need? Notice what you say to yourself and give yourself some good, positive, inspiring, encouraging messages, because you are awesome. You are awesome. It takes a lot to get born, and you made it. You made it to being born. So we send you love, don't we, Ish?
We do send you love, absolutely. And thank you for interacting with us, for reaching out, for listening, for being awesome. And I can't say anything better than what Sasha said, so I'll just say the word hiatus again.
Hiatus. Hydrangea. And
have a safe trip to the US, Sash. And I will miss hanging out with you for an hour a week, because it's one of the best parts of my week.
Yay, thanks, man. We're coming back for season 3. Stay tuned. Let us know what you'd like to hear more of. If you'd like to hear less of us, shut up. This is not the podcast for you. Find something else to listen to. Love you guys.